back to another episode of the Natty Teacher. I'm, of course, your host, the Natty Teacher. In today's lesson, we got our leg B workout, our final training session of this first week of this training mesocycle. Went by fast, man. This week flew by. Lots of fun training, lots of pumps, lots of, good weight moved. It was just a great week of training. Great first week post deload of training. So at least 5 more weeks of this after this week, but we ain't looking at that yet, man. We still got another session before the end of the week. So we got our glute and hamstring workout. Again, it will look a little bit different. That is something I would highly recommend, guys. When you get into your training cycles, okay, your training block, could be a 4-week training block, 6-week training block, 8-week training block, whatever it is for you. When you get into those training blocks, my recommendation would be when you train in them, while you are actively training, make sure you're evaluating your exercise selection. Let's say that you have this plan written up and you feel pretty confident with it, and you go into the gym and you do the exercises for a week, you do them again for a second week, and you kind of notice it's like, okay, I'm doing 6 exercises in this pull day, 5 of them feel great, but this 6th exercise, I don't really connect with. Okay, sure. Well, my recommendation would be maybe don't just immediately throw it away. Maybe first of all, let's, evaluate, make sure your technique is good, and make sure you're working within the proper range of motion. You're not just herking and jerking weight around. Make sure everything actually is good. You know what I mean? Before you just throw the exercise away. But let's say that you are perfectly executing the technique. You're getting the best squeeze. You are, doing everything that you're supposed to do, and yet you still just don't connect with it. Well, then I would replace it, okay? You could wait till the end of your training block and replace it then. You could replace it immediately, within the actual training block itself. It's up to you, okay? That's up to you. But make sure that it's just kind of a tip for your training. When you are training, don't just do the exercises that you decide or follow if you're following someone else's program or if you're following my training. And let's say you're trying to copy, the exact training, that I'm doing and the same exercises and all that. Dude, more power to you. But I do these exercises because I connect with them, and I've found that they work, okay? And if you've noticed in my previous videos, sometimes I will replace an exercise or two because, without even having to say it, I just don't connect with it, okay? So make sure you are actively finding and utilizing exercises that you feel are working on the target muscle effectively that you're trying to hit, okay? If a flat barbell bench press doesn't feel great on your chest and you just feel it in your shoulders, and then you change the technique and you're really activating the chest, but yet you still connect with a flat dumbbell press or a flat machine press better than you do with a flat barbell press, well then why would you do a flat barbell press? You know what I mean? You don't have to do a bench press to be a bodybuilder. You know what I mean? Just like you don't have to squat to, have big legs, and you don't have to deadlift to have a big back. Again, I feel like there's been this weird misconception in the fitness industry that I don't see as much of anymore. I will say that. I definitely don't see as much of it anymore. But you have to find exercises that work for you and that you're consistently progressively overloading and that you can consistently connect with and feel. Okay? That's bodybuilding. That is it. You are literally physically trying to change the anatomy and not necessarily the anatomy, but trying to change the physical appearance of your body. And if you're just wasting time doing exercises that you don't connect with and you don't feel, you're just not going to be able to make the changes you want to make. You might make a little change, but nothing huge. Okay? So again, I know it's kind of a little pre-workout rant there, but hopefully that is something helpful for you. Again, the gist of it is you got to pick exercises that work and then just get better at them. Honestly, again, you will see in my next training cycle, because like I've said before in my previous videos, and if you haven't seen it, just to reiterate it real quick, what I tend to do is I will pick 2 6-week training cycles. So I'll train essentially almost exact 99% of the same exercises for 6 weeks, and then I'll have a deload. And then I'll maybe flip out 1 or 2, or maybe like change an angle on one or something like that to see if I like it better. So again, basically running the same 99% or 99% of the same exercises again for another 6 weeks, deload, and then after those 2 6-week training blocks, that is when I will actually change up my exercise selection. Okay, so I'm not changing it up every week. I mean, let's do the math there. That's a total of 14 weeks because I have 6 weeks of hard training, a deload, 6 weeks of hard training, a deload. So that's 14 weeks. So logically, I'm not really changing up my workouts other than maybe every 3 odd months or so. You know what I mean? And even then, I'll still use a lot of the same exercises that I really connect with. So again, find those exercises, connect with them. If you do, keep running them. There's no reason to make some aggressive changes with that. So yeah. Now, first exercise, going back to today's training. Again, hopefully that made sense. If you guys have any further questions about that, I am a teacher, so I love answering questions. I love it, especially with stuff like this, like fitness related and bodybuilding related questions. I promise you I'll answer your questions. So if you have any further questions or ideas or things you might, if you, I don't know, anything you got, especially questions, but anything you got, drop it in the comments below. I'll hook you up with the best answer I possibly can. So first exercise on the docket today for our hamstring and glute bias workout is actually not so much hamstring or glute exercise. It's like the one or two exercises that I do within this workout that are not hamstrings and glutes. So we have an adductor, that inner thigh work. Again, the whole purpose of an adductor, one of the most slept on machines in your gym, okay? The machine where you sit there and you put your knees on two pads and you close them like that, open and close like that. It is phenomenal for those inner thighs and broadening your actual legs, adding more width side to side, not depth front to back, but width side to side in your legs. So I would highly recommend, if you're not doing adductor, I would say at least once a week, in your leg training, I would highly recommend that you add that in for sure. It is a phenomenal exercise for those inner thighs, and again, adding more width to the legs. So we're going to start with that, and then essentially minus one or two exercises. Everything else is going to be for hamstrings and glutes. You will see a little bit of a change from my last training cycle, just because I had some exercises I wasn't a huge fan of, and so we're going to try something else. But yeah, so adductor first, top set of that bad boy coming at you right about now. All right, as promised, we got adductor on the docket, working on them inner thighs, trying to add more width to the actual thighs themselves. So give that nice wide look from the front and from the back. Really should help in posing for sure. So up the weight here, another 5 pounds. We are officially maxing out the machine. We're gonna have to start adding weights on pretty soon here. We did 8 unassisted reps and then did 2 forced reps as well. Then we dropped the weight, a little under 20%, and did that for roughly a set of, what was it? Man, I'm blanking here. Usually I can remember all my logbook numbers pretty good. I don't know if it was 12 or 13 in a row plus a couple of forced reps. I don't know, something like that. It was a good set, a little bit higher reps there. But I like to throw in these forced reps at the end of these sets with the adductor, because I sometimes run out of juice trying to bring it together, but you got some juice left to control it on the way out. So anyways, lying hamstring curls, added 5 pounds from last week. Did a top set of 12 here. We're using, 180 pounds here. So definitely starting to get where I would like to be with regards to weight and reps for that, and control. Finally feel like I found that comfortable spot on my calves to rest the pad. I had the pad way too low in the past. So to be able to have it in a nice comfortable spot like that and actually feel my hamstrings with a pretty high amount of load and tension as well, that's nice. So again, we did top set of 12 here, and then we did a follow-up set of 10 with the same weight, and then a third set actually at this weight for 7. So all within ranges that I would like to work in for sure. Try to add another 5 pounds next week, as long as that top set's feeling comfortable. And we'll go from there. So again, 3 working sets here. Like I said, 2 working sets of adductor and then 3 working sets of lying hamstring curls here. So felt really good, had an awesome hamstring pump. I really prefer to do this exercise before something like this, a barbell RDL. Nice and deep though. Again, this is something that I really didn't do in the past. I always thought, well, I gotta kind of limit the range of motion a little bit to really keep the tension on the hamstrings, right? Well, yeah, I was wrong. What we're doing here is, you'll see I'm really trying to keep my back nice and straight. I'm keeping that bar close to the shins. And what I'm trying to do is force those hips back in this movement, and then kind of picture driving my knees back as well. Again, not a cue I can take credit for. Jared Feather over at RP. If you ain't subscribed to his YouTube channel, dude, you got to go check that out, and RP as well. They have great training cues, great training advice. It's phenomenal stuff. So especially Jared. Jared really does a lot of the training stuff. RP is kind of a mixture of training and also, you know, some other kind of more comical, fun videos with Dr. Mike. So still great content though, for sure. Anyways, so we did 2 working sets here. This was our top set, did 10 reps with 275. And then we dropped the weight down to 225 and rocked that out for a set of, I believe, 12. So again, really emphasizing that stretch, not trying to round the back too much, keep as much tension on the hamstrings and glutes as we can. Then we went into our main glute movement for the day, Smith machine hip thrust here. Added a rep from last time, felt a little bit smoother as well. So again, kind of resting that bar just below the pelvis, really driving up hard and squeezing at the top, squeezing those glutes at the top of this movement here. So we got 5 plates and a quarter on there, did that for 7. And then we dropped down to 5 plates, hit that for 12. I kind of wish I had recorded that back off set with 5 plates because that 12 reps was smooth as butter, man. It really was awesome. Anyways, so 2 sets there, felt really good. Again, strength is continuing to grow on this, so that's always a great feeling. This is just one of them exercises that you can just freaking load up and just really squeeze them cheeks hard for sure. So again, 2 working sets here, felt awesome. Then, an exercise I probably will replace next time, a standing single leg hamstring curl. I'm only going to show you just the left leg here because it's the same exact thing on the right leg, so for the sake of time. Trying to bring that high, you know, it's just like a hamstring curl, but standing. So just trying to drive that pad up towards the glute without actually touching it. Keep a lot of tension on the hamstrings. This one I do, if you do this one, I would highly recommend keeping it in that higher rep range, maybe that 15 to 25, 15 to 30 rep range. I believe we did a set of 22 to start and then did a set of like 17 and then went back and did like 6 more per leg. So like for a total set of 23 after this. I don't mind it, but I would rather do like a single leg lying hamstring curl, so I can get a little bit of a more comfortable, better range of motion on the hamstring than this one. So yeah, but still felt good. Again, just, you know, it's all part of it, man. Sometimes you really get into an exercise, and sometimes like this one, I would rather do something else. Then went on to abductors. Again, trying to open and close here, the reverse of the adductors here. Went up 5 pounds, did a rep match. We did our top set here for a set of 12, and then did a back off set for, I believe, around that 15 rep range, dropping the weight just under 20%. Felt really good. Again, you'll see this one's really nice and slow. I'm very methodical with this exercise. With most of my stuff I am, but with this one in particular, every part of this movement is slow. That's what I've really got to, that's what I really found for me is really good, trying to, you know, picture squeezing the outside part of the glute and that outer part of the upper thigh, and get that nice solid pump to you know, end this portion of it. Then we went on to calves. We did 3 working sets with 4 plates here on seated calves. You can kind of see, the camera was angled a little high, but you can get the gist of it. What I'm really trying to do here is drive those heels close to the ground and then sit in that stretch position here. So you'll see that I don't like rock it out of the bottom. I really do sit in that stretch position. I believe this was actually my 2nd set. I'm not sure. If it's a set of 8, I'm not counting, I'm not following along, but if it's a set of 8, this was my 2nd set. So we did this for a set of 10, set of 8, and then a set of 7. So again, kind of our heavier loaded calf exercise. You know, right now we're doing weighted calf movements 3 times a week. And then we did toe press. Has become one of my favorite variations of calf pressing or calf raises. Essentially what you try to do here is I like to picture driving my toes and curling my toes into the bottom of the pad here, or platform I should say, and then literally just pushing and forcing that press with the toes. So get in that stretch position. So right here, and then sit in that stretch position for a moment and push out hard, trying to really keep as much tension on the calves as possible, pushing all the way through with the toes. I already did my decline crunches here at home. That's where you can kind of hear that little reverb. I got it in my, you know, our little cardio ab room here. And I still have a half-hour cardio, so I'm gonna go hop on and do that here in just a moment. Again, do your cardio, man. Come on now. Even in the off-season, do your freaking cardio. Let's go. Still going. Oh, I thought I timed it better. Okay, here we go. Outro coming at you. Woo! Leg B workout in the books. Woo! Absolutely fried those glutes and hams and calves. Yeah, got like 6 working sets of calves in there at the end, so that was nice. Really locking in hard with the weighted calf work. So yeah, it was great stuff, man. It was awesome stuff. Felt really good, felt really strong. Yeah, I ain't got nothing else to say about that, man. It was super awesome. 20 out of 10, phenomenal workout for sure. Now, I apologize for the background noise, even though I can't help it. It is absolutely a monsoon out here today. It is pouring out here, so I am trying to pay attention. It's one of those things where it's like a sheet of rain. Literally, these roads out here are like flooded. So I don't think I'm going to be cutting my grass today. Unfortunately, I wanted to, but yeah, I don't foresee that as an option here. But that's okay. Get a little bit more of a chill day in. But anywhoozle, my wife and I, we got some grocery shopping, going to our favorite spot, Aldi. Of course, baby. Aldi got all D's deals. It's all right. We tried. Anywhoozle, join me tomorrow for a rest day vlog. I actually don't have a topic yet, which is kind of an exciting thing. I have a variety of ideas. Probably will feature the wife again, because, you know, when you have a hot chick in your videos, it just brings in views, you know? It just brings in traction. That's how I'm going to get this channel to grow. I'm just going to have my wife on, you know, all my videos, you know? But no, I'm not kidding, but I am kidding about having her on all the videos. She's awesome. But yeah, we'll have some sort of rest day vlog tomorrow. Have some fun with that. I enjoy having her on the weekends. That's cool, and she enjoys it too, it seems. So that's always a plus. And yeah, so join me tomorrow for whatever that video is. It'll be uploaded probably late morning, early afternoon tomorrow, maybe later afternoon. We'll see at the latest. And then of course Sunday, back at it with our heavy push session. Do your cardio, man. I still got some abs and cardio to do, but I will be doing that probably not for another, somewhere between 2 and 4 hours. Probably close, yeah, probably at least 2 to 4 hours. So give the body a little time to rest, get some food, go grocery shopping, do all those kind of things, get that done, and then, you know, come home and probably eat again, and then let that digest and do abs and cardio after that. So, anywhoozle, yeah, do your cardio, get good sleep, pray, even if you ain't religious, you know, say a little prayer for something. And we'll go from there. But yeah, training's going awesome right now, guys. I've cut back on my caffeine a little bit. I'll be honest with you, just to rant a little bit more. I know we had a little intro rant, but we have just a little, you know, a little exit rant as well. Find that range of caffeine where, like for me, I know I have a slight caffeine addiction for sure. Now, don't get me wrong. I like to keep my ranges between like 400 and 500 milligrams in a 24-hour period. So it's not like I'm having like ungodly amounts of caffeine, you know, a gram or a gram and a half of caffeine or something like that. But I definitely have become a little self-reliant on caffeine, and I enjoy it. I enjoy the taste of the drinks and all that kind of stuff. But I will say this, I had a couple days earlier this week where my caffeine intake was in that 700 or 800 milligram range, and it was awful. My cortisol levels were through the roof. I was unbelievably stressed and heightened. Adrenaline was pumping. You don't need that, man. Keep it in that range, that healthy range, 2 to maybe 400 or 500 milligrams, depending on your body weight and how long you consume caffeine. Anything above 500 milligrams, man, in a day, maybe 6, it's just a lot. You know what I mean? It's just a lot, you know? Find that range where you can have that nice smooth energy and without overdoing it. You know what I mean? Have that nice smooth energy, but you don't feel like your heart's gonna explode or something like that. We don't want that. We don't want that, okay? So, anyways, hey y'all, I appreciate y'all tuning in. I appreciate the likes and the comments and the feedback and all that, man. It means the world to me, it really does. Make sure you drop a like on this video, share it if you feel so inclined, drop a comment with any and all feedback or questions you got for me. I promise you, I will answer them, no doubt about it. And I will respond, okay? Unless it's just something outlandish, then I might delete it if it's something really inappropriate or something. But we got to keep it school appropriate here with the Natty teacher, man. Come on now. Anywhoozle, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you have not already. But for today, I'm the Natty teacher, and this 6th episode of many of our Road to Natty Pro series is out. I will catch y'all on the flippity flop.